Well, well, well. Well, well, well. There. Oh, hello there. It's Wednesday, November 19th, 2008. This is WFTL Bytes, your occasiodaily FOSS and Linux news show with your host, me, Marcel Gagné. Hey, I've got a news flash for you. An amazing news flash for you. But first, I must put on my press hat. My press hat for today. Here is the news flash. It appears that hell has frozen over. Satan has put out an all-call for furnace specialists to try and fix the issue. Why are things so dire down under? Well, let me tell you. It appears that Adobe has released their Flash Player for Linux. Not only their Flash Player for Linux, but their Flash Player for 64-bit Linux. And the really amazing thing about that, and the reason that this is such big news, they have released a 64-bit player before releasing it for any other operating system. Yes, Linux came first for the very first time. They have a 64-bit player. Other people don't have a 64-bit player. Yay, Adobe, thank you very much. And by the way, I've spoken to a couple of people who have installed the 64-bit Linux player, and they tell me it works, and it was painless. So, good news all around. Over at Computer World UK, meanwhile, we have Gartner. You know, Gartner, those guys who put out all those reports. Not entirely sure what it is they do besides put out reports, but they put out reports and poll companies and so forth, and apparently make a lot of money doing it. But Gartner reports that, wait for it, I know you guys already know this, but 85% of companies that they have checked with are already running free and open source software of one form or another. That is basically around the entire planet. And apparently 15%, those 15% other companies will be running open source software within the next 12 months. So, open source software will be everywhere on the entire planet within the next 12 months. And if it's 100% of the companies, you know who else is running open source software? Yes, Microsoft is running open source software. Absolutely amazing. Of course, Gartner won't just give you good news, they have to give you the bad news. And the bad news apparently is that 69% of companies that they polled have no formal policy for evaluating and cataloging open source software. And what that means is it could open up a virtual Pandora's box of issues and possible litigations. It couldn't just be good news, could it? Meanwhile, at Computer World, plain old Computer World, Paul Krill examines the Novell Microsoft deal 2 years later. According to the happy couple, all is rosy, birds are singing, customers are happy, in fact, they're blissful of the agreement. Meanwhile, if you go over to the Boycott Novell website, they paint a slightly different picture. Recall that Microsoft claims that Linux violates 235 of its patents. Now, Microsoft won't tell anybody what patents they violate, but you have to trust them. They actually really do violate patents. Honest. They wouldn't lie to us about anything like that. Well, apparently, Novell is released from all liability on that. I mean, this is not new news. This is old news. But what the Boycott Novell website is saying is that this proves that what Novell is doing is legitimizing Microsoft's claims on this whole patent nonsense and so forth. And you might recall from a WFTL Bytes of a couple of weeks ago that Gutierrez, Microsoft's chief lawyer, is saying that, you know, they might just go after companies like RedHat and so forth if they don't sign Novell-like deals. Just keep watching this one. OS Static, meanwhile, has a story. Speaking of stupid lawsuits, the French Recording Association, the Société Civile des Producteurs de Phonogrammes en France, is suing LimeWire, Views, and Shariza. This is software that is used for sharing files using BitTorrent. And while the software itself doesn't violate copyright, it could be used to violate copyright. But the real weirdness in this lawsuit, assuming that the lawsuit in itself isn't weird enough, is that they're also suing SourceForge. Yes, the SourceForge site that hosts so many open source software projects. Why? Why? Well, apparently because SourceForge hosts one of these potential violators. You gotta be kidding me. But anyway, we'll see how this one plays out. And a good piece of news to finish off the day. Congratulations go out to RedHat CEO Matthew Zulik. MarketWatch.com reports that he has been named the Entrepreneur of the Year for 2008. That's the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year for 2008. The award, quote, recognizes leaders and visionaries who demonstrate innovation, financial success, and personal commitment as they create and build world-class businesses. So, congratulations, Matthew Zulik. Congratulations, Red Hat. And that's it. I'm done for today. Those are my stories. That's it. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Remember, visit WFTL Bytes.com every day for your FOSS and Linux news. And I really am done.